The day begins like any other in the busy city, until something strange happens. A businessman suddenly stops his car in the middle of the road because he can't see anything. Worried people gather to help, and one man offers to drive him home. But when they get there, that man steals the car and drives away, leaving the blind man alone. A little later, the thief comes back pretending to help again, but the businessman refuses and sends him away. When his wife comes home, she's shocked to see her husband blind. She quickly takes him to an eye doctor. The doctor checks everything but finds no problem with his eyes. They look perfectly healthy. He says the issue might be inside his brain and tells them to go to the hospital for more tests. After they leave, the doctor meets other patients: a little boy, a woman wearing dark glasses, and a man with an eye patch. Meanwhile, the car thief starts running from the police, but while driving, he suddenly loses his sight too. Scared, he asks the police for help, but when they take him to his ex-wife's house, she refuses to let him in. That night, the woman in dark glasses meets a client at a hotel. But after their time together, she suddenly goes blind too and starts to panic. Later, the doctor returns home and has dinner with his wife, but the next morning, he also wakes up blind. Realizing this might be spreading, his wife calls the hospital. Soon, more people, including the doctor's young patient, also lose their sight. The government steps in and shuts down the doctor's clinic. He's sent into quarantine. His wife can't leave him alone, so she pretends to be blind too and goes with him. They're taken to an old asylum that's now being used to keep the infected people away from everyone else. Guards watch the place from outside, and each ward has just one phone for emergencies. More people arrive soon: the thief, the woman in sunglasses, the little boy, and the businessman. The doctor and his wife decide to keep her sight a secret. She pretends she just remembers the place and quietly helps everyone move around, eat, and find things. During one walk, the thief tries to touch the sunglasses woman without her permission, so she kicks him hard, cutting his leg badly. Since there's no medicine, the doctor's wife rips a piece of her dress to cover the wound. That night, she worries the wound might get worse or that she might go blind too. The next day, more blind people arrive, including the businessman's wife, who finally finds him. The little boy still waits for his mother, who never comes. When the doctor's wife asks the guard for medicine, they only point their guns and tell everyone to stay back. Soon, boxes of food arrive, but it's cold, tasteless, and not enough for everyone. The doctor's wife tries using the emergency phone to ask for more food and a first aid kit, but no one answers, only a machine. Weeks pass, and more blind people are brought in. To help them move safely, the doctor's wife ties a rope between the wards, while the doctor becomes the leader of Ward 1. As days pass, life inside the asylum gets worse. Since everyone is blind, no one can keep things clean anymore. Trash piles up, the smell is terrible, and people stop caring. Some walk around without clothes, others use the halls as toilets. The businessman tries to stay positive by talking with his wife about their old memories, but she doesn't want to think about the past. It only makes her sadder. One day, the doctor's wife hears a strange sound coming from another room. She follows it and finds the man with the eye patch hiding a small radio. He's been secretly listening to news from outside. She convinces him to share what he's heard with everyone. He explains that only a few radio stations are still working. In the first day alone, hundreds of people went blind. The government locked all blind people inside asylums and ordered everyone else to stay indoors. Scientists tried to find a cure, but they didn't understand what was happening. Soon, even they went blind, and the illness spread to other countries. The world fell apart. Cars crashed, planes fell, and soldiers shot anyone who tried to escape. Now, the streets are empty, and even the government can't help because they've all gone blind too. A few days later, another huge group of blind people arrives. The soldiers guarding the place have become cruel and angry. When one man steps out of line, they shoot him dead. Everyone panics, pushing and running inside until the doors break. The soldiers leave the body where it fell. The doctor's wife wants to bury him properly, so she asks for a shovel. The soldiers mock her and throw one into the yard. Pretending to be blind, she stumbles around until she finds it, then angrily flips them off. The doctor gathers leaders from other wards to discuss what to do. 2 more people have been shot, and one ward has started stealing food. A man from Ward 3, a bartender, gets tired of the doctor giving orders. He declares himself the king of Ward 3 and says his group will eat first before worrying about the dead. Later, the doctor's wife visits the thief, whose leg wound has gotten worse. He's burning with fever. She tries to help, but he turns violent and says he knows she can still see. Scared, she runs back and cries in her husband's arms. The thief, unable to take the pain, crawls outside and lets the soldiers shoot him. The doctor's wife feels guilty and wants to admit she can see, but her husband stops her, saying it's too dangerous. He sadly adds that he feels more like her patient than her partner now. Sometime later, the bartender and an accountant from his ward find the asylum's main office. The accountant has been blind since birth, so he moves better than others. Using the building's intercom, the bartender announces that he's now the king of the whole asylum. From now on, everyone must pay for food. People rush to the food area, causing chaos. To scare them, the bartender fires a gun into the air, a weapon he smuggled in earlier. Afraid, no one dares fight back. He and his men take control of the food and warn that anyone stealing will be shot. With no choice, the doctor's wife starts collecting jewelry, wedding rings, and other valuables from her ward to trade for food. The doctor's wife secretly keeps a pair of scissors in her pocket for protection. The little boy has nothing to trade for food, so the woman with sunglasses promises to pay for him too. At the food storage, the accountant feels each item to judge its value. But no matter how expensive a jewelry is, the bartender only gives out a few small boxes of food, barely enough to survive. Anyone who complains is threatened with a gun. Days pass and food runs out fast. Everyone eats less and less. The doctor feels useless and blames himself for not being able to help. The sunglasses woman tries to comfort him, and they end up becoming close. When the doctor's wife later finds out, she doesn't shout or get angry. Instead, she quietly tells the sunglasses woman that she can still see and asks her to keep it secret. A week later, bartender announces something horrible. From now on, food will only be given in exchange for women. Furious, the doctor's wife demands more food from the soldiers, but they say they've already sent everything and walk away. Inside, Ward 1 holds a meeting. People argue, but the doctor says no one should be forced to go. If anyone chooses, it must be their own choice. After a long silence, one brave woman steps forward, saying she'll go to save the others. Her courage inspires more women, including the doctor's wife, the sunglasses woman, and the businessman's wife, even though her husband begs her not to. That night, they're taken to the food room. The men there are cruel and violent. One woman is beaten so badly that she dies. The next morning, the survivors return, weak and broken, carrying the dead woman's body. They wash her and give her a small farewell. Later, the accountant shamelessly comes to their ward, asking for more women. He even jokes about one being too quiet, not realizing she's the one who died. Shocked, the doctor's wife tells him the truth. Overcome with rage, she pulls out the scissors she's been hiding and rushes to the food room. Inside, the men are distracted, laughing with the women from another ward. Without hesitation, she stabs the bartender in the neck, killing him instantly. Panic spreads. She yells for the women to run. The accountant grabs the gun and fires wildly, but misses. The doctor's wife and the others escape, leaving behind the so-called king of Ward 3, now dead on the ground. As she walks away, the doctor's wife shouts to everyone that if the food isn't shared fairly, more people will die. From now on, she'll be the one collecting supplies. The doctor worries this will start another fight, and he's right. The men from Ward 3 block the hallway and refuse to hand over the food. Ward 1 prepares to attack, but before they do, one woman secretly takes revenge. She pulls a lighter from her pocket, sneaks into Ward 3, and sets it on fire. The flames spread quickly, burning everything. Chaos fills the asylum. Amid the smoke, the doctor's wife takes charge and leads everyone outside. But when they reach the gate, they realize something shocking. The guards are gone. The watchtowers are empty, and the doors are wide open. The asylum has been completely abandoned. They're finally free. The doctor, his wife, the little boy, the man with the eye patch, the woman in sunglasses, the businessman, and his wife decide to stay together. They walk into the city, but find it completely destroyed. Cars are abandoned, buildings are broken, and blind people wander the streets fighting over food. Dead bodies lie everywhere, and wild animals feed on them. To keep everyone safe, the doctor and his wife hide the group inside a bar, then go out to find supplies. The market is nearly empty, with hungry people fighting over what's left. Because she can still see, the doctor's wife finds stairs leading to a hidden storage room and collects some food while her husband picks up clothes. But as they leave, people hear the noise from her bag and rush at her. The doctor runs to protect her, pushing through the crowd until they escape. Once safe, She breaks down crying, tired and scared. As the doctor goes back to pick up the clothes, a thin, stray dog walks up to his wife. She gently pets it, then rain begins to fall for the first time in a long while. She smiles and takes shelter in a nearby church with the dog. Inside, it's full of blind people praying. Every statue has its eyes covered. The doctor soon returns, wet but smiling, carrying clothes. The dog follows them back to the bar, where everyone shares the little food they have and rests for the night. The next morning, they travel again through the ruined city until they reach the doctor's house. The couple opens the door, and everyone moves in together, with the doctor's wife guiding them. They clean the house, share clothes, and create a small routine. They only go out when they need food or rainwater. Over time, they grow close like one family. The eye patch man says he wishes life could stay this way forever. The businessman and his wife find love again, remembering old happy times. The doctor and his wife finally relax and become close again too. Weeks pass peacefully until one morning, something amazing happens. As everyone gathers for breakfast, the businessman suddenly shouts. He can see again. His vision has come back just as suddenly as it disappeared. Everyone is overjoyed. One by one, they realize there's hope. The blindness might not last forever. For the first time in a long while, the world doesn't feel dark anymore.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.